Let's explore the process of creating your own collection of rocks or other stonework within 3D Code. The same tools can also be used for other purposes, such as creating battle damage objects or debris. We'll start by creating a new layer in the Vox Tree Layer panel, then select the Primitives tool. A good option for asymmetric shapes is the freeform blob. You can use the different configurations for control points. This is the last one I used. And when you use a primitive, you'll have a primitive history available to you, so you can always get back to that particular shape. If you don't have this docked in your UI, you can access it from the Windows menu under Pop-ups, Primitives History. You can also assign a hotkey to it so that you don't necessarily have to have it docked, but you can bring it up when you need it. Before I commit the primitive to this new layer, I'm going to first make a few adjustments to the deformation cage. I'm going to hide this other rock. If I'm happy with the shape, I can go ahead and apply it to this new blank layer. I'm probably going to give it a little bit of resolution before I do that and hit apply. Now I can step out of this tool. Before I begin working on it, I may want to store it into a project or category folder within the Models palette. So to do that, you would click this plus icon to create a new project or categorized folder. So I'll name it Rocks. Now I can simply just drag and drop this layer into that palette. To do that, come to the right side, just left mouse click and drag right into the palette. But before I do that, I want to name it Rock 3. .3D Code is going to give you the option to decimate it before you move it into the Models palette. In this case, I may reduce it a little bit. Let's try 50%. And OK. And it will create a thumbnail for us. So we can always get back to this object now at any future point. Now with that done, I'm ready to go ahead and use the plane brush. I'll go back to using just a brush draw mode. Again, right click. And I may want to increase the plane size again. There we go. We could use our freeform lasso as well. It's a little bit too deep at this point, so let's walk it back in by using our minus key on the number pad. I also want to change the orientation to pick point and direction. I keep forgetting I'm using a lasso instead of a brush. So yeah, let's go back to using a brush. Increase my brush size by using a bracket key and just reducing the plane size. All right. Shows auto move forward so that it automatically goes in by a certain depth. So we can bump that up. Just right mouse button clicking each time to set the orientation based on the normals. We can go to a different brush alpha and use something very crude and rough if we need. I think I'll just go ahead and stick with a regular brush alpha. Okay, so let's switch it up to pick point in local direction. Let's change it to forward direction. Okay, so let's say we are fairly happy with this. I can use other tools like the scrape brush. I'll turn off soft scrape. That's a little bit too harsh, so let's right click and drag downward to decrease the depth level. And I don't want any smoothing. So just quickly move about, randomize this.